Yeah. And then, in theory, people can begin hearing us. The 3 people who are watching at the moment.
Can anybody hear us yet?
Yeah, if you can hear us okay, put something in the chat.
Yeah. Chat with us.
Yeah.
Tell us who's here.
And we will start the video.
Rex is here and Steve is here. Who else?
Yeah. I'm recording it too, so that something goes goofy. But
all right, we're just kind of waiting.
See, because it shows us live, so hopefully this won't give feedback. I'm gonna click on this. Oh, yep. Turn off.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yep. Nope. Yep. We got one person here anyway. John, AC9 UV. Ultraviolet John. Actually, John, not ultraviolet John, but you know.
Hello, John.
And Stephen.
And Stephen.
W7SKC. Oh, sweet. They can hear us.
All right.
Go with the video. Oh, why are you out of focus now?
I don't know.
You were not out of focus before.
That's horrible.
Yeah, move around a little bit.
No, it's just straight horrible.
Those are in focus.
Those are all good.
It's just when we look at just you.
Oh, well, don't look at just me then. Okay.
I don't know what's going on there. Let's, oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. You're in focus now.
All right, because I look bad enough without being out of focus. Hello, gang.
All right.
According to the official clock on the wall, it's not quite 7:30.
Nope, that clock's wrong.
We're just chewing the fat for a minute while we gain ahead of
we're on the slow
viewers
wall
here.
clock. Yeah. The wall clock says 2 minutes behind the real time.
Okay. Maybe a different brand of.
Different brand of Eclia.
I can't read that far away with my with these glasses. So that's awful tiny type on that computer screen.
So we also got KD0FNR and KO6BTY. Yeah.
I don't ship kits by call signs. So I don't recognize. Some I recognize a lot because I sell a lot of kits out to them. You know, they're frequent buyers, and I gradually get to know. Like I held LobsterCon for like 4 years before I even knew the regular call signs because they just came in one ear and out the other. I just knew them as people, not call signs. So.
Yep. Hamilton and Hammy.
Hey, there's Hammy. Okay.
Oh, I had an uncle named Hammy.
Huh?
I had an Uncle Hammy.
You had an Uncle Hammy?
Freaking hilarious.
Well.
Yeah. Uncles always are, aren't they?
Yeah. So good. I'm glad they're. I didn't send you a picture yet of your campsite number 1. It's lonely sign sitting there with all this snow behind it. So it looks a little forlorn.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many people in here now?
You ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Okay.
How many viewers are in there now?
I don't know how to tell anymore.
We don't know.
I think 7. I think.
Well, we're not going to get an overwhelming 500 people watching this video, so
yeah, we got what we got. We're going.
I'll take what I can get. Mindful that this is going to be, put up online anyway. So, anyway, I mean, everybody's got their. Okay, let me take that picture. Everybody's got their kit of parts, and I didn't bring for some strange reason I didn't bring one of my blue cans. There's a that hasn't been cleaned up though.
Yeah, I cleaned it out. Right. What are you talking about?
So
I didn't eat the tuna salad.
Okay.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, it was disgusting. I tried it. Even my cat didn't eat it.
Yeah.
Tuna and tomato just didn't cut the mustard with me.
Yeah.
So I even tried this is some tuna salad Mediterranean with olives and olive oil, which I happen to like, but I didn't have the heart to waste one of those either. So until now, mackerel, I opened up one of those and I was pretty disgusted. Mackerel picnic, but I love the cans because they're gorgeous cans when you get when you get a cut on them. So I'm gonna have to make a generic board so they can just slap on one of these cans because they're nice cans, good size. So anyway, so you saw the picture. Let's see. I think it has to go this way.
Here's the close-up.
Yeah, give me a close-up. I have to. That's not a close-up, is it?
Well, you know, this is the camera my daughter was messing with,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm like,
All right.
there we go. Oh, let me get rid of you.
Let's see. Let me go this way here, maybe.
There you go.
Trying to get it so most of the text is right
Yep,
side
there
up.
you go.
Okay.
Perfect. Nope, you're perfect.
Well, no, I was looking for a little bit of light, maybe back here. It's a little dark here. Anyway, there we go. That's a little bit better. The unique thing about this particular design, I've done several keyer and paddles before in different formats, but the unique part about this is you do have the paddles, but you've got two connectors here. Whoops, over here, two connectors. And depending upon how you put the jumpers, you can jump it either the paddles going straight through as a contact, so going into a kit that's already got a keyer inside, like a rock might, or when you put them over to paddle key, then they go into the built-in keyer chip and they come out as a single output on the other connector. So you can hook it into an elementary kit that does not have a keyer in it and just looking for a straight key. So that's the unique thing about that. That's the only thing that's different. Plus the fact it's kind of cool. And it was in a can, and it's a few enough parts to be able to do in a Build-A-thon, and it's useful combined with all the other Build-A-thon kits we've just done.
Yep.
We've got a transmitter, we've got a receiver, we've got a transmit indicator, online indicator. What else did we have?
We had what's that in the can? We had an antenna tuner. And the antenna, I remember making the wire for that antenna.
Okay, so and now we got a keyer. So that's pretty much everything you need to make a station. And each can was a little bit different and kind of, well, except for the Centos, a little bit different, a little bit more fun. So that was the whole point, but just learning how to build stuff. So we're going to build this now. So we're going to set this aside, and we're going to break out these parts. And there's so few parts that you really don't have to worry too much about sorting them out and identifying them, because
so can you use it as a straight key as well? I think you said yes.
Yes.
Would you configure it without using the keyer chip in line?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, so you would go out either as the paddles or as a keyer output, depending upon which jack you plug in and which way you put the jumpers.
Yep.
So I'm just going to quickly sort out the parts. You see, I didn't do any homework assignments about sorting these things out because there's very few electronic parts you have to worry about. It's mostly the mechanical stuff. So we'll get the electronic stuff up there. Let's set these aside. Okay, electronic stuff up there. Nuts and bolts down over here, maybe. Oop, another key up here.
They're just separating all the.
I'm just separating
all the hardware from the.
Just separating so I can find them very quickly when I do this build. You do this once, and it really cuts down on your search time. So you can.
This kit's nice because there's not a lot of components to sort out different values for. So there's like one resistor, I think one.
Yeah,
Just
it's a
one
0 ohm resistor.
And it's not even resisting much,
And it
right?
doesn't count up amount to much because it's only 0 ohm. So
Doesn't
yeah.
resist very well.
Yeah.
There's what, 4 capacitors?
Yeah, 4
4
capacitors.
capacitors, transistor, microchip.
Okay, so I'm just quickly sorting out all my parts. Now I don't know, everybody, if you're sorting out your parts like that and you get them all sort of grouped together so that you can identify and find something pretty quick.
You even threw in the CR2032 battery.
I did.
Oh.
I was gonna make you buy your own until where the heck did I go? Oh, I think I went to the same place I got all these cans.
Like Ocean State Job
Ocean
Lots or
State
stuff.
Job
Yeah.
Lots, and they had those things. I couldn't believe it. A whole cart for practically no money. So I said, what the hell? Buy them and throw them in the kit. Okay, so there's all our parts right there. The only thing that you really have to do is this big connector. You have to break it down into smaller ones, and I just it eases the burden for me as a kidder to be able to make one piece and you have to turn it into other pieces. So be it.
That's how it was done.
And that's a good use of my most favorite tool, which is the guillotine cutter. Now you can cut these. See, these have little dimples between each pin because they're called breakaway headers, and you can break them away. Now you could probably do them with your fingertips.
You can show it on the
Might
close-up
not work.
camera there.
Close-up camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not sure they can see them on their own, but
Well,
yeah.
let's see if I can show the little dimples between each of them.
If you showed it straight on, you could see them. Yeah, just like that. I can see
Okay,
them fine.
all right. So the problem with flush cutters is the fact that they've only got a knife blade on one side.
Lower. Yeah. there you go.
Okay, the knife blade is on, I'm trying to find the right angle.
Yeah.
Okay, you can see there's a knife blade going down, but the backside is flat. So they only cut sharply on one side, not the other. So my second choice, or my first choice to cut them, is a pair of wire strippers like this. Because if you look at these wire strippers, if I can get the darn lock off, is the fact that they've got a
Lower.
knife a knife edge on both sides. So I can go right into the groove with two. And I now have made a little 2-pin header. And you can do that again with another one. Another 2-pin header. There's 4 2-pin headers.
Don't reach your finger through them.
Yeah, I reach it on the other side so it doesn't go flying.
Thank you. My carpet appreciates you.
Yes. Okay, so there's 4 2-pin headers. And there's 2 3-pin headers. So I'll do 3s. And another one. Now they all came out perfect without, with plastic around each of the little connectors and whatnot. So this is like spoilage, so in case you have a do-over. So I make them bigger. So in case you only have your flush cutters and one breaks away and cuts a pin out, then you have more pins left over.
So you got 4 2s and 2 3s.
Right. And again, the guillotine cutter has got a utility knife blade in there, which is sharp on both sides, razor knife on both sides. So they work really nice for cutting these things open. But you gotta again watch out that you don't happen to
Reach through the knife.
reach through the knife, or when you're going in for the kill, accidentally poke the end of that thing right there, because it will make a nasty slice into your finger, and it bleeds like hell. I've done it. Ask me how I know that happens. I've done it many times with my favorite pair of pliers. So I just made a whole bunch of 2 and 3-pin headers there for future reference. Okay, so everybody's got an iron. Should be heated up by now. I didn't tell you to plug in your iron, but I assumed everybody's ready to go. I'm gonna put. I don't know if I really need to put my headers, my little solder connectors on here, but I'm gonna do it.
You never know when you're going to need them. So.
That's right, and it's a good advertisement for these things. Because people who get these really do like them. They work pretty nice for holding a board when you're soldering stuff.
I use them on almost everything I solder. Except mine are brass.
Yes, the early ones are made out of brass, which I call them brass. So see, now when that board sets over and it's perfectly flat and it spins around to get any way you want to go, and you can spin them right off and spin right back on if you have to move them around. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to go after, I guess we'll go after, I always build to the lowest or the highest, but we don't have that many parts. So I guess we'll just go into it. So we'll get the first thing we'll do is put the 0 ohm resistor, which looks like a resistor and it has one color on it, black. And we all know that black is zero. And the color, of course, that's 0 ohms. So I'm going to cut the paper off of both ends. Okay, I have a tool that I didn't get out of my toolbox. I have a lead bender.
Close up
So
camera
I can.
wiggles a lot. Let's not do that. We're gonna make somebody nauseous with how much that wiggles.
All right, so we'll put that into where it says 0.4. Bend it down like that, and you've got a nice, perfectly rectangular bend at 4/10 of an inch. And you put it in the where it says 0, right there.
The rectangular one that says 0.
Okay, so just bend the leads out just a little bit, and it sits there just fine. Happy as a little clam. So we're going to do the single capacitor here. It doesn't come on a strip. And again, I've got a. We can't really flash into this little toolbox. I found this at Sam's Club. It's a little QRP worthy toolbox. It's got 1, 2, 3 drawers and a top lid, and it's perfect for holding all your stuff for doing QRP kitting. And it's nice and small. It's pretty cool. It was $20.
Well, I'll have to show it afterwards.
Yeah, but one of the things you should have on you is a little magnifying glass, and we've got some decent light here, so I can just take this magnifying glass and double check that says K5K, which doesn't make any sense, but that's temperature and voltage. That's a 50 ohm capacitor. I mean 50 volt capacitor. But on the other side it says 104. Okay, and that's the 0.1. But we know it says 104 right there. See, I've labeled it basically on what you're supposed to see.
Yep.
So there's a 104. We'll put that right where it says 104. Do the same thing. We'll put it in the hole, seat it down, and then spread the leads just a little bit apart. Not all the way down to the board, just a little part so it doesn't fall out. And that's good to go. I hope I'm not going too fast.
I notice your soldering iron is a little bit low for your normal temperature range. 670?
Yeah, 670.
Yeah,
well,
you're usually 700.
Yeah, it was in a travel box.
Okay. I
So
I see that off on the corner.
It got
there.
nudged a little bit.
I'm like, wait a second. That's a little low for what
I'll bring it up to 70. I like 700 because I like the solder. I like to get in there, put some heat to it, get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I like to solder a little bit on the hot side.
There's to solder something today, and I found somebody had set my soldering iron down at like 400 or something like that.
You set it at 400 and you wait forever, and you just keep pouring heat into that part, waiting for it to heat up.
Yeah.
Not good. So
one of my kids was using it. They're a little bit more sensitive.
So these 103s, which are going to go down here
where it says 103.
Where it says 103. We'll put those two in. Come on. Let's set that one down. Bend the leads a little bit. Put the other one in. So there's those. I think we can go to the 10 microfarad electrolytic, and you'll see a stripe on there with a minus sign on it. So that lead, which is the short lead, is the minus lead. So we look into the 10 microfarad, we see where the plus and minus is. Long lead on the plus and short lead on the minus. And we can put those in.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay. You can hold those down.
Right next to your call sign.
Okay. We can probably collect up this 2-inch 7000 transistor, which is on the card. And I'm going to cut that off.
That's right next to it, right on the other side of your call sign.
Yep. Now these parts are all pretty well spread apart. Now you see there's a straight back on there and a rounded, and that looks like looking at this thing from above. Okay, one straight back, one rounded. So you put it in just the way it looks on the board. Come on. Yeah, holes are good. It's just that spacing on this thing is just a little bit different. There it is.
Okay.
Now, that will actually sit all the way down really close to the board, but I don't really like it that close because
Your finger's in the way. There you go.
okay, when you solder that thing, you're soldering really close, and that's a semiconductor. So I don't like the heat to go all the way up in the body. So what I'll do is when I go to bend the leads on the back, I'll push it down before I bend the leads, just to give it a little bit more distance.
Push it down. You mean so that it's
I
not
push the lead down, then
Yep,
bend
yep,
it, so you see that thing is sitting up about.
a little lower, a little closer to the close-up camera.
It's sitting about a quarter of it. That's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, your finger's in the way. Yeah, there you go.
There we
Right
go.
there, Yeah.
Sitting about a quarter of an inch up off the board. I've seen people solder the resistors right down the board, and I just don't like doing that.
Transistor.
Transistor. Yeah, sorry about that. Transistor. Okay, so looks to me like we've got all the little components on there, so I'm going to set it back down upside down and just jiggle those a little bit so they're seated right, and I think we can solder those in. So I got my nice soldering iron from a station. You can operate with pencil irons. They're pretty good. None of this stuff would require anything bigger than a pencil iron. But I do like a station because you can change the heat really fast. It comes up quick, change it quick. You'll never run out of heat. So if you run into a problem like on a ground plane or something, then you just crank it up a little bit more. But they are expensive. I mean, I think I paid $65 for this station about 15 years ago. It's not new. It's definitely not new. You get your money's worth. If you really like doing this as a hobby, you should splurge and buy some decent tools. Okay, so I'm just going to pick someplace. I'm going to put a little bead on the end of the soldering iron. I can see it heat and melt right there. I'm going to try to put that bead right on the pad and that lead for a second before I try giving it some more. Just give it a little bit and get the heck out of there. That's it. Nothing, it's not rocket science there. So I'll do the same thing. I'll put a little bead on the iron. I'll get 1 lead of this transistor. And that's it. And I'm just wandering around the board because certain things, well, I can get the middle lead of that transistor pretty good. So I'll go right in there. Get the middle lead. I'm going to, after 3 or 4 things, I'll put clean it, put a new bead on it. And I'll do this side right here. And if you look, I'm laying an iron, then moving it this way to hold up onto the pad and the thing, and coming in from the other side with the solder. So I'm doing, in essence, what I would consider the bottom sides of these parts, because I can get my iron in on the top and I can get my solder in from the bottom. And I'm sort of going across the board this way, getting these parts. Okay, so I've actually I've gone across and down, so I can swing this around the other way. And I can do it the exact same thing again. I can start on the right. I see that pad's awfully small. I should change that.
Version 3 on the way.
Yeah, version 3 on the way in my head. Those pads are awfully small. changing the angle of attack on this transistor third leg.
You just made the pad small because you're planning ahead for surface mount.
Actually, the whole thing this was a surface mount. I actually did this whole project with Limerick construction style,
Yeah.
where there's no holes on the board.
Yeah.
And I built one. I said, no, it's just too hard. It's not hard. It just takes much longer to do.
Yeah.
Because you got to bend all those leads and everything. And it was too long for Billathon. So I said, I got to redesign it. So I went back to conventional holes. And I'll show you why in a minute.
Well, let us know in the chat how you're keeping up or how you're
yeah.
progressing. Or
Tell if I need to slow down and take a stop.
Or how much popcorn is left in the bowl. You know.
I'm trying to go relatively straightforward and slow. But my slow might not be slow enough for you guys. So there's all the little nitty-gritty parts. Not very many.
Yep.
Which is why I chose it to do this way.
Quick and easy, right?
Correct. Okay. Do we get a go, no go?
I haven't seen anything in there yet, so keep going.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay. So let's see, what are we going to do next? I guess I'm going to pull these things off my solder things for a minute, because this is where it gets a little tricky. I'm going to take my solder and I am going to build. If you see it, it goes up and then down and away. So what I can do is I can solder, and I'm using this whole roll of solder and this as a third hand. So see, I can move this around. I can do it with one hand, and I can bring in the soldering iron with another. So here's soldering iron in one hand, solder in no hands, and the board in the other hand.
Yep.
So I'm going to do the tricky ones. I'm going to do these 3-pin header down here where it says keyer control. Config, I said. Keyer config. So if I put those 3 pins in that socket, then I can hold it in the socket with one hand, with one finger. But I'm only holding it by the one pin that's furthest away from where we're going to solder. Okay? So I can put this thing...
Don't hold the pin you're going to heat up.
That's correct. I'm holding the pin away from what I'm going to heat up. So I'm going to put a little dab of solder. Then I'm going to move this board in here.
I mean, you can hold the pin you're heating up, but you will burn your finger.
Yeah, you won't hold it very long. So that's how I managed to get the solder on there with my third hand. And I can turn this over and I can look at it and say, ooh, that's pretty. Let's see if I can show it to you guys.
Huh. They're live streaming their building of our building.
What? So I can see that connector is leaning off. Let's see if I can show how it's leaning. It's hard to see. I can't. It's leaning this way. It's not straight up and down. So I'm going to hold on to it now, and I'm going to be able to wiggle it with that finger while I just reheat that one pin until I think it's vertical. I can look at it again. Okay, I like that. So that one pin is in. Now that I know that's where I like it, it's vertical. The other thing that's handy dandy is because we're putting it on top of a tin, which is another reason for having tin can kits, is the fact that you can put it on the can as a holder.
Use that to hold it. Yep.
Okay. So now I've got this one pin right there that I've soldered, and I can solder the other two with impunity because that thing's gonna stay put. As long as I don't touch that other one, it's gonna that connector is gonna stay right there. So here's number 2 coming in. Number 3. Okay. Now that 2 and 3 are there, I can just sort of reheat number 1 and make sure that I've got a good solder job there, because that's the one I sort of did with that third hand business. So head connector is on there, 3 pins, very nicely. Pretty cool. Okay, so I'll get the other 3-pinner. Now I tell you, it's a lot easier to do these 3-pinners than it is to do the 2-pinners, because if you get it just wrong, you end up with a very hot finger. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to build myself a stack here. Point this thing down.
Thick as the PCB.
It's
1.5 millimeters.
It's
1.5, 2.
It's 1.6, which
1.6.
is it's 061. Yep, I clean that. Okay, all right, now I got that 1 pin. My finger's away from it. I'm looking at the board now, and I say that's nice and vertical that time. Now I can do the other 2 pins. Once those are soldered in now, cool, I can go back and do that first pin that I was doing kind of. I'm just going to reheat it and let the solder reflow, and those things are done.
I think John Putnam's done already.
What?
Blimey, it works.
Huh?
Yeah,
I think he cheated. He cheated. He had some stuff already done. Golly. We wanted to set a speed record. I would have gone right into it. Okay. So, again, I'm going to take my solder. I just stuff it down the center hole a little bit. Get a nice big hunk coming out, and then curve it down so I can come down from the top of the board. Do the same thing with these little 2-pinners. They're a little bit more tricky. Now, I just recently lost a couple of fingernails to mechanicking work, so my fingernails are kind of short, but I'm gonna put that in. Oops. I'm gonna put that connector in. I'm gonna take my fingernail. I'm gonna put right on the bottom of that plastic. So I'm holding that.
I think you just dropped it.
No, it's right there.
Oh, there was another one that looked like it
Okay.
fell.
See, I'm holding it with my fingernail to the board.
Yep.
Rather vertical, and I'm getting down underneath there, and I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this away pin. Again, I'm still doing it further away than not the one I'm holding. Okay, I just soldered that. I'll let it cool. It's vertical. It's where it wants to be.
What about putting a jumper on it when you do that to hold it?
Yeah, you could probably do that.
As long as you don't melt the plastic.
I mean, I've got enough of a fingernail that I've used this technique over the years, and it's
worked for you.
Yeah, it's always worked for me. And that's the thing is, you develop, if you thought enough kits, you develop some hints and kinks of your own. So, mine is not the only way. So again, I got the second one in. And I'm going to put on the away pin. Okay, now I'm not even going to look at it. I'm on a roll, so I'm going to put number 3 in. I'm only doing that 1 pin. There's number 3.
Well, the board must be clearly labeled for John. Have blasted through it already. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's not a novice.
Yeah.
Come on. Another thing I highly recommend is if you're doing kit building and you're wearing glasses, is to don't shirk on your prescription. You know, if you really can't see very well,
It's not going to help.
yeah, it won't help your kit building any at all that you don't have the right glasses on. And I don't have the right glasses on because I got a new pair of glasses last week, and I didn't like them, so I had to go back to the place. And they told me it's going to be another week, so I'm hoping that I get them sometime this week. So I just looked at all 4 of them now. I'm looking on the top side. They're all nice and straight up in the board. So now I can go back and hit the pins that I did not do anything with a clean iron, little dab. I'm going to put, see, this board rocks, but if I put one finger down on the bottom of the board, it's now rock solid. So I can hit these 4 pins that I didn't touch. Okay, I can wait for them to cool a little bit. I know they're not going to come out. And then I'm going to basically just hit the other 4 pins that I fumbled on and just give them the opportunity to reflow. Whoops.
Did you heat up the wrong one and bend it?
Nope.
Yep,
Nope.
okay.
It moved a little bit on me. Okay. All right. Those are all good. Now I can put 2. Let's put key. Let's put it in the key mode.
You're putting the jumpers on.
I'm just gonna put 2 jumpers on. Key and key.
You move the solder spool out of the way.
Yep.
Maybe. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. So now I put 2 keys in there, and on this one down here, I'll put one on. Key config, operate left or right. You won't really have to worry about this one. It says on the thing key config, it says L and R, that's left and right, that's op and ground. Okay, let's talk about that, because most of you people are fans of QRPME. You probably have got a rock mite, okay, and if you want to disconnect the rock mite here, then you have to have one input grounded, one paddle grounded, and the other one will now, when the keyer comes on or the rock mite comes up, it comes up in the straight key mode. So the other one will be the key. So if you wanted to use this in a rock mite and use the rock mite, use this keyer and bypass the rock mite keyer, then you have to short one and then send everything down on the other one. Okay, so yeah, short either left or right, and then send the code and the one that's not shorted. So I can pick which one this keyer.
So you would short like L to OP?
No, let's say L to ground.
L to ground.
Okay, so if I put a pin in there, that means that the left paddle is now going to be grounded. Okay, so now you want to operate on the right paddle.
So you want R to op.
Right. So that's how you would figure this if you wanted to use this tapped into a rock mite that has the built-in keyer. You're basically taking away that keyer.
Yep.
Okay. And we're going to opt into it as a straight key. And we can use this because you might have a whole bunch of programming on here, messages and stuff. So if you want to use it, that's how you would set it up.
Yep.
Okay. If you want to use it as straight paddles, then you go and you plug these guys into.
So plug
the 2 pinners. You plug into the paddle. Okay, instead of key, you plug them in the PDL. So now they come out to the paddle section here. Okay, the paddle connector.
Short
and
both of the PDLs. Both
right.
PDL and not.
Now that would come down. Now the output is bypassing the keyer chip. Yep. And bypassing the 2N7000 and goes straight out to the paddle connector.
Okay.
So now when you plug that into the connector on your Rockmite, you're going to be using the Kia that's inside your Rockmite. Now these are straight paddles. So it's a little multifunction.
Okay.
Okay?
I just wanted to put that in the comments for people to have.
I hope everybody understands that. Okay.
So,
it is convoluted. Any questions?
Rory asked, did you make the CCT board holders?
Yes. Those are on my website under Homebrew Supply.
CCT board holders.
That's QRP.
Oh, those. Yeah. Show it on the okay.
Close up right there.
Okay.
See, it says QRP. If you go to my Homebrew section, it has all my nifty little things I've designed for building stuff without any circuit board, and the tools that I have, the toroid winders, all kinds of stuff.
I was just confused. CCT?
Yeah, he didn't see that right on the thing. So go ahead and go right to the page for a minute. We can take a little bit of a break.
It'll take me a minute to get there. Hang on. Boards.
Homebrew stuff down the bottom.
Hang on. Okay, homebrew stuff.
Went by.
I always do. It's up here.
Right there. Okay. And so there are
down, and here we are.
There they are, right there. A brass set.
But they're not brass anymore.
They're not brass anymore. I call it the X-Brass set. I had a friend of mine had a machine shop, and he used to make them for me when I first designed them. And he was a good friend, and he would sit there forever because they have to be machined. 6 faces have to be square, and then there's a slot built in them. Okay, and it took him a long time, and it ate up a lot of brass. And he decided he wanted to retire from that business, and I had to go find someone else. And they started quoting me like $20 just for one piece. So I had to stop making. So I now have a QRP friend of mine who makes these on his 3D printer for me. So, and they can be, half the price now. Okay.
Somebody said their Weller safety mode got us in their iron cool down. Boy, never. Maybe I buy cheap soldering irons. Mine don't have any safety mode.
I don't have any safety in mine either.
Okay. It must auto shut off at some.
Oh.
Boy, you need to up that time limit on that thing.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know what it is with that. So I guess now we're just fumbling around. So we'll start from the back here. We'll put on these stereo jacks, and
John's ahead and said his 1-inch bolt's a little too short.
Okay. Now I see this outline here on the board for the stereo jacks is a 5-pin outline. And that's if you have switched functionality in the jack, but these are straight stereo jacks, so they don't have it, so they only have 3 pins, but they fit right in, and they just use the outside connections. So you put those on.
Just one footprint, so you can have different components going
because sometimes I can't get these. And I have to get the 5 pins, so I try to.
You have to use a little bit of love to push them in.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good.
CCT circuit. Yeah, I just didn't read CCT as circuit. Rex knew what it was, but
yeah, I could guess.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna put in.
Due to his increased wisdom.
No, it's just my. Just I've been around the block doing this in particular, for many years now. So I'm gonna put the battery jack in. The battery holder.
Yeah, that's a funky looking battery holder. I'm used to them laying down. Kind of neat.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have a lot of room to lay a holder down. Okay, I guess that's enough to do right now. So I'm gonna just flip it over. I'll see. I could probably stand to have my board holders back on there. So I'm just gonna quickly zip them on.
Wait, my battery holder is just slightly not the right size.
Yeah, it's the width of the.
Yeah. You need to use a little persuasion on that.
Yes,
too,
it needs a little persuasion. Yeah, I don't.
Yep.
Now this is where these board holders come into play, because now we're doing all the funky tall stuff.
Yep.
Things that are different sizes and whatnot. So it's hard to get the board to lay flat when you're soldering. So you slip those on there, and now we're ready to go. And you can go right to town with these soldering these connectors and jacks and stuff
Well,
like
you're
that.
gonna want to get
so.
your whatchamacallit in there pretty soon too. The dip socket.
Yeah, that'll be next.
It's a pretty low profile component compared to that battery holder anyway.
Yeah, on this particular project, because the density of there's so few parts, the density is spread out that you don't really have a real problem trying to get stuff in and out of this board. So I don't think that's a really big deal. Okay, I got just remember what I plugged in, so we got a battery here. I could have used a much smaller battery, but
2032s are pretty easy to find.
That's right. You can get them at Ocean State Job Lot for practically nothing. Okay, so there's 2 stereo jacks and the. Yep. So now I can put in the switch. That takes a little bit of persuasion also. Okay, not a lot, but a little. And that's one. Switches have that plastic body, and that's one thing you definitely don't want to overheat. So you want to get in, solder it, and get out fast. So I'll go in from the top.
Yeah, I've melted my fair share of switches.
Yeah, if you've ever worked with some of these modern day switches, like in your car and stuff, I mean the plastic bodies melt awfully darn fast. They do not use really good plastic.
Yeah.
In these switches these days. So I'm gonna put the socket in.
Try to get your orientation right.
Orientation right. There's a little indent there in the middle of the socket, so I can just now use my fingernail to just bend over a couple of leads. And we'll just go to town on that one too.
Yeah, I guess that 1-inch screw is a little short, isn't it? It's supposed to go through the bottom of the can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that 1-inch screw doesn't quite make it.
Uh-oh.
You must have used a longer screw.
I think I used 1 1/4 inch, I thought.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the one you got there, and it's at least 1 1/4 inch.
Okay. Is everybody with me? They started their socket in. Am I out in the lead other than way behind John? Huh?
Yeah, he's way behind.
I'm way behind John, but I'm out in the lead. I'm second place, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put the speaker in. There is a plus and minus on the speaker. On the top, you'll see there's a real plus sign written on it. So we'll make sure the orientation is right. I use my fingernails to bend it over just a little bit. You know, we want to be careful about that one. They're pretty stiff. You don't want to break that connection inside that speaker. The speaker's done. I'm running out of things to put on this board. So now here's the other thing. Here's on the little switch. It looks a little tarnished to me.
Push button.
The little push button. It looks like it's got, you know, it doesn't look nice and shiny like it should. Probably because I bought it a while ago. So I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife and scrape them close up to the body. Don't have to go crazy, just trying to scrape away that tarnish. And then I'm going to take the one lead that's weird, and I'm going to try to bend it straight out.
One lead that's weird.
Yeah, it's a little short.
Oh, the
little short weird.
Yeah.
That's a ground lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna bend it so it goes
out of the way. Off 90
I don't know.
degrees, yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can put something behind it where you can see the.
You've just bent it off to the side.
I still can't show it right. Yeah, I just bent it straight out. Instead of coming down, it goes straight out. And we'll lay that right on the board.
We're going to have to point that away from the speaker.
Yeah. We don't need to worry about a grounding point. We need to worry about there's no pad for it.
For the grounding. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty much everything but the potentiometer down here. What I do with these pots is I take these little crinkle leads, and I just, with my pliers, I just bend them flat. Okay, so that thing is nice and flat. I should have a close-up picture of that, but I don't. Then I take my pliers up to, even with the little, you can see there's like little teeny feet when it's inserted in the board, and I just make it go out, straight out. See, now it's going straight out.
Yep.
Side. Now do that on both sides.
Yeah, I think that is a 1 1/4 inch bolt, but you probably need 1 1/2.
Really?
Yeah. Because it doesn't.
Okay, so I'm going to put this potentiometer in those 3 pins, and you see now those tabs lie flat on the board. Okay. See? Can you see them flat on the board right there?
Yep.
Okay. So at a later date, what you can do is put a little epoxy on them, just so they
give it a little more strength.
Yeah, just they keep this thing in.
Maybe hot melt glue.
Epoxy is much better than
Yeah,
hot
yeah,
melt,
sure.
but hot melt will work.
I think more people probably have a hot melt
Yeah.
glue gun.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm
Somebody asked about the switch. The switch is not polarized. It can go either way.
Yeah.
Just not the little ground tab that doesn't go in anywhere.
It's
The short lead gets bent out of the way. The other 2 long leads are what go in the board.
the little push button switch, the membrane switch.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's no polarity there. Okay, so I just started my potentiometer on. I can take all these solder bots off. I call those okay. I still got a couple of leads I haven't cut off from the push button switch and the speaker. Everything else is cut off. Now I'll tell you a little hint. The reason I actually started this project with a Limerick construction is because you'll notice this says loose change right here, and there's a slot right here on the board that says loose change. So if you look at okay, so you can see I've taken some gaffing tape and I've taped over all the contact points. I'll lift this up and show you. Let's see, maybe this corner right here. Come on. Exacto knife to help me. Don't cut myself. Okay, so there are all the all the contacts of all the parts. So what I've done is just tape them all over, because inside here I got $15.50 worth of quarters in here for a counterweight.
Yep.
Okay.
Expensive counterweight.
Yes, but a lot of times I'm looking, scrounging around for some money.
Yeah.
Hey, I've always got $15.50 in my key. So that's a good deal. Yeah, it looks to me like this was supposed to be.
Here's the one that's. Yeah, on the bill of materials, it's 1.25 inches, but I think
Yeah,
you need a
yeah.
inch and a half.
I must have. No, I think that's only an inch.
I don't know.
That's one thing I don't have in my box is a tape measure.
Yeah, that might be an inch.
I don't have any graph paper.
Yeah.
Don't have any measuring device here.
Whatever it is, get one that's 1/4 inch.
Yeah, get a little longer one, okay?
Go to the hardware store.
At your local hardware store.
I
I'm
need
sorry.
this 1/4 inch longer.
Yeah.
They got a screw lengthener there.
Yeah. Stretch it out a little bit. But you don't really need it to do it. In fact, you do all your test out right here on the bench. So I'm going to take the chip. I'm going to bend the leads just a tiny bit so they're square.
So bring that to the close-up camera.
Okay, you'll notice that these leads are flared out a little bit. So what I do is I just sit on the board and I rock it just a little bit inwards to try to make them straight up and parallel so that I can put it in the socket. That's a fine craft that's been developed over, let's see, what, 1968? 1968 to, it's like 60 some years.
60 years.
60 years.
No, it'd be 50, 68, it'd be 59 years.
59 years.
59,
Okay, 59 years of playing around with this digital
58.
stuff.
What year is
Okay.
this? 2025? No.
2025.
58 years.
All right, so there's the whole electronic deal is ready to go. Now we got to do is build a mechanical, which ain't too hard. Okay, so I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way. We take, here's all the hardware that we got, and we take 3/8 inch. I think I didn't add the, I don't know if the documentation is on the website for the mechanics. I thought I had stuck it there. Yeah, mechanicals. Okay, so it sort of shows you how this whole key mechanism goes together, but you got a 3/8 with a lock washer, goes into one of the let's see, we're looking at this top right here.
I can't see where you're.
Okay, you can't see where I'm pointing, and I can't see where. Go to the top of that document, right above us, the top view. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, those are the levers pointing down.
Yep.
And so up at the very top of that, okay, there's the spacer, the nylon spacer. Okay. And then you'll see there's a 3/8 inch bolt coming in through a lock washer, through the angle bracket.
Oh, let's.
Okay, so here's the angle bracket. There's a 3/8 with a washer, then another washer. Then it goes into this nylon spacer.
If you get it over a little more.
Whoops, I'm sorry.
So it's on the camera. There you go.
Okay.
Right there.
I forgot. It has to go into.
Oh, you left off the spacer now. Oh, wait.
No.
Okay.
No, I can't do that yet. It's got to go through. See the angle bracket? Very top.
It's not on the screen.
Okay, see the top of that drawing?
Yep.
The very top hand left corner, you see there's the bolt, lock washer, angle bracket, then the lever.
No, then you got another lock washer.
Then you got another lock washer. Now we're on the same page. Okay.
So
then you got the nylon.
lock washer, lever, lock washer, nylon.
I'm screwing the nylon on together. Now I got another lock washer. Yeah, we'll put it the other way around. We'll take the bracket. We'll come at from the other side of the bracket. So we got a bolt,
Why don't you
lock washer.
lay it out on the ground in the order that it's going to go. Lay it out on the board.
Okay, well, it's in the picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Hold on.
Yep. Then the bracket.
Okay, then another lock washer.
Nope. Then the paddle. Then another lock washer. Then the paddle. Then the lock washer.
Yeah. Oh, the other paddle. We're in the
Bracket should be
right
right
there.
next to the paddle.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Then the lock washer. Yep. There you go.
okay, so that's there's one half already done. So I'm gonna go bolt, lock washer, paddle. Remember the angle bracket goes in the right direction. Then we got the thing, then another lock washer. Then
This
into
is
the
the.
nylon.
There's only one nylon hex spacer, right?
Correct. Okay.
Yep. No, it's in the. I think it's in the bill of materials.
Yes, should be.
Oops. Yeah, John, it's down near. That's like fourth from the end, I think, in the bill of materials. 632 by 0.625.
Yep.
Yeah.
5/8.
5/8. Yep.
Okay. Now, if you get my close-up picture here, you'll see I'm constructing this paddle on the deck. Okay, and it's a unit. Okay. So there it is. Bolt, lock washer, angle, through the thing to the lever arm, to the lock washer, back to the nylon, and just the reverse the other way. So this thing here now drops right on there like that. But first, it's easier to do the little things up front. So we have to do.
What should we do with the pot feet?
The what?
The pot feet. They should go into the little holes on the board, right? You already did that one.
Oh, the pot. Yeah, we already shot the pot on.
Pot feet.
Yeah, they went in the three pin thing.
And then the wait, where is? Oh, did you have to bend them out?
Yeah, we bent them out.
Okay, so you had to bend them out the same way you did on the switch foot, right?
Right.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
so you just
we
bent
were-
those outside.
We were there, weren't we, gang? Where was Steve?
Yeah. No. Somebody asked the question. What do they do with the pot feet?
Okay.
So turn it up towards the close-up camera so they can see the hold it up the other way so that they can see the pot. Yeah. So I
Okay,
can't see
see.
the feet bent out though.
Oh,
You can, but they can't.
we
There
were
you
into
go.
that.
There you
Okay.
go. They're just bent out to the side.
We just bent them out of the side. We talked about using epoxy or
Hot glue.
hot glue
Yeah.
to just put a mound on those, and the same thing could be done over here on the
Switch.
little switch thing
Yeah.
that goes straight out.
No, I was
Just
just going with somebody's question.
Okay, all right. So now we've got this unit made, except for we've got the contact points. Here's what it looks like assembled. So in the middle, you have contact points to go to the
Did you turn it
aluminum.
so that it's.
There we
wasn't
go.
Quite the way I was thinking, but okay.
Okay, here we go.
So the aluminum post in the middle is the contact point.
That's the
and then
ground.
You've got adjustable
adjustable little
contact on the
screws right
side.
on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we do is on this bracket thing, we will take, I think we have no lock washers on those. We just have 3/8 to a nut. Boy, my hand's starting to not be able to work very well. These little 3/8.
Uh,
Little 3/8.
the aluminum hex spacer is what we're going to use for this contact.
Right, that's the contact point. Okay.
Yep.
So then we can put them on the halfway point. We put them through the.
So you should have both a nylon and an aluminum spacer.
Right.
They should both be in the bill of materials.
Yep, they should be.
Yep.
Right next to
There's
each other.
the aluminum, hex spacer, nylon. Maybe his bill of materials is out of date.
Oh yeah, you know what? You might have an out of date BOM. I think I sent an update to everybody saying that I posted an updated both bill of materials
Okay.
and a homework assignment.
Okay.
I sent that a couple of days ago, I thought. Saturday or Friday.
Yeah. And now you're working on the upright one.
Yes, I'm right now I'm attaching the contact screws to this paddle. Probably could put these.
Oops. Keep moving around the side of the screen on me that you're working, so I'm trying to get the thing in the right place.
Okay. So I've got the back paddle is made with the bolt, lock washer, angle, lever arm, lock washer, nylon.
Flip it upside down. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Now it matches the.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
See?
Yep. Stop right there. Yeah. Now it matches what's on the
Okay.
diagram.
All right. And then we got little 3/8 guys down here. Okay.
Yep.
So now that goes and plops right down here.
Doesn't go the other way.
Oops, sorry about that. Right in the silk screen, right where it is. Okay. And it does sit up on, let's see. Go back to the mechanical drawing again, showing it mounted.
Two number 6 flat washers, 1 or 2 as required.
Guess what? Do you have any flat washers in yours?
I do not. So I guess
I do not either.
I have lock washers, but no flat washers. Yeah, well.
Uh-oh,
Adjustable to your height requirements as needed. You can use flat washers there.
They're not anything special. Oh, bad me. Bad me. So we're going to have to get a slap on the wrist for that one. So you can put 2 in there.
Is this just to raise it up above the components?
Yeah, because you don't want this lever arm to be scraping along, so you just want it raised up just a little bit. So just ordinary washers go in there. It's no big deal. 2 of them, and it should have a 3/8 bolt. I think we can probably do it this way. Down through there. Down through 2 washers. I'm going to put both of them on. Three-eighths in there. 2 washers. I'm going to put this upside down. I'm holding all these bolts and stuff in play with my fingers. So come on. Come on, come in. It's being a little bit hesitant to come through the hole. Come on. I think I need a little persuasion with a screwdriver on this other one. Okay, it's come in.
Well, good. That'll hold it in place a little better for you.
Yep.
Nuts on.
Now, the thing shows a couple of lock washers on the mechanical sheet, doesn't it? Doesn't it show lock washers?
Yep.
And then 2 more nuts.
Yep.
I apologize. Obviously, the first bill of materials did not show the flat washers. And that, I think, is what I gave the kitting lady. So Pip kitted them to my spec, which was wrong. So I'm going to make everybody go out and get themselves.
Yep, there are no flat washers on the bill of materials.
Okay, so there's the mechanical now, bolted on the bottom. And we use a little, just for cleanup, I used a 1/4 inch on the top. I guess you can use a 1/4 inch on the bottom. Goes right in the middle.
So here you're putting in the...
I'm putting in the center post. And when I tighten it up, I try to make it flat on both sides for the screws to contact. And then you tighten the screws to have just a little bit of a gap here.
So you're trying to get it so the two flat sides are pointed towards the...
Right.
Turn it up so that they can see it on the...
Oh, I'm having a problem. There we go. Okay. So I try to make it so the sides are flat when they go to these the screws on the side. So
what's the screw on the very top for?
Oh, it's just a hole there, so I just put a screw in there to clean it up. Clean up the hole. Okay, this one can go in a little bit further.
And this is where you adjust for your preference in terms of how you want your
once
key action.
okay, it needs to come out just a little bit. Nope, a little bit more. Okay. Has to come out a little bit more too. This one, it takes a little bit of playing with to get your okay, both of them are away, so I should be able to take and put this battery in. Plus is this way, minus is that way. I'm not sure if that battery is right. It's not making any noises. Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Bent a pin?
I bent pins that didn't go in the socket like I was supposed to. Hopefully I can recover this baby.
You might pull that battery out before you plug it back in too.
It's off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Now one side is rather has been kind of crumpled, so I'll put that one in first. See if we can get it to go in this time. Ooh, it's not in there. Boy, I don't know. Fumble finger complex on this one.
It's not wanting to go in.
It is not wanting to go in. This. It has bent them again. Okay. Was about the fifth time? Fifth time's a charm? They look good to me. There we go.
On.
What I didn't look at is when I put my power switch on, I didn't look to see if there was nice and vertical. So I want to move it a little bit one way. I hope I don't lose it. Okay. Yeah, it's more vertical now. 2032 battery minus over on that side.
It started up.
Not making any connections.
You got your jumpers on where they're supposed to be? Or just gonna
What? Oh, that's right too. I got it set on paddles. The Kia chip is out of, thank you, Steve. The Kia chip is out of the circuit when you're on paddles. The connections are going straight out the jack. So put it in paddle mode. There we go.
Yeah.
This is the fastest you can go. Too fast for me. Okay. So once you get to that state, power off. Okay. Then you have to cover up the connections
bottom.
with some tape or something, because it's got a lot of stuff back there, and you don't want to ground out on your bunch of quarters.
Yeah.
Put the screw up through the bottom. I'm not going to take these quarters out and feed them in again. I'm going to put that screw in there and go around it and put it through the mounting hole, set it on the top, shuffle my quarters.
Get them nice and well balanced.
Put that screw in. Tighten it up. And 4 rubber feet for the bottom.
Yep. Those
Okay.
are in the kit.
So it with that weight and those rubber feet, it pretty much stays put. So there we go.
Tuned to the speed of your liking.
Yes. Okay. All right. So what did we miss? We missed the length of that.
The length of that screw seems to be a little short.
Yep, I can
And
see that now.
and
It
the
might have been.
washers.
Yep, it's definitely short. I don't know what the size this is, but needs to be 1.25 inches most likely. I don't think that's 1.25 inches. You don't have a ruler over there. Oh wait a minute, we got hey.
Oh yeah, you got a grid right there.
Yeah, this is a 1 inch. It's supposed to be 1.25 inches.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
1.25 on the bill of materials.
1.25 inches. Okay. And we should probably have 4 washers.
Yeah, 4
Okay.
flat washers.
4 flat washers, and see that gets these. I mean, you can move the lever arms and just move them up a little
Yeah,
bit so they're
yeah.
coming out in the air, but they're supposed to be kind of level.
Yeah.
So that's that. So I gotta fix that. I'm sorry, gang. I failed again. Okay. It's rather, especially at Christmas time, you know, it's pretty tough putting
Yeah.
this stuff together. I had so much stuff going on, it was pathetic. I mean, and I got my wife was groaning at me the other day because let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dead vehicles in the yard.
Oh, jeez.
I'm driving her car right now because I don't have a car that drives right at the moment. Brake jobs, I mean, hydraulic power steering pump, everything went to hell in the handbasket. And, you know, my well pump went at 350 feet and before I could fix mine, my best friend's well pump went at 175 feet. So we spent several days working on well systems. I appear now I'm an expert on submersible wells, deep wells. I had to repair both of them. So, but that's it. Now I think it's a nice little keyer. Of course, I'm not a professional keyer user, but
There it is.
There it is.
Now's the time for any last minute questions.
Yeah,
before
come
we
on,
wrap it up?
hit me with something, please. Just don't make it negative. Make it positive.
Yeah, well, we're in the wrap
I'll
up
take
phase,
anything.
So yeah.
I can't see.
No, we're waiting for any. So
Rory McLeod?
I don't know where you're.
Did I ship him a kit? I don't recognize the name.
I don't know where you're looking. Way up at the top. Oh.
Stephen Clark, you're there, Stephen?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's
So for the mechanics, yeah, check on the web page, and it's got the details of that down at the bottom. You'll find the
yeah.
mechanics.
Go back to the bill of materials again, because
Well, that's what they said they were lost on the mechanics, so I wanted to show that. But,
oh, okay.
yeah, it tries to lay it out in the top view and side view, so hopefully
Yeah.
that will help you through the bill of materials.
Go back down to the hardware all the way to the end. Are there any? Nope. There.
Yeah. No, there's lock washers. but
Lock
no.
washers, no flat washers. I missed the line with the flat washers. It should be 4 flat washers.
So, Stephen Clark in the Marshall Islands.
Yeah, Marshall Islands. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
it was a V7. Yeah.
Yeah. Is he all? Are you there, Stephen? What time
That's
is
what
it?
He said good day from the Marshall Islands.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And,
Thank you very much,
Rory
Stephen.
said he's just a visitor.
That's what I thought. I didn't recognize his name.
Nothing wrong with visitor.
No, we like. You don't have to buy a kit. You know.
Yeah.
In fact, we have more visitors than we have kit buyers. When it all said and done, I mean, I think one of the kits we did is like 375 views, and
Yeah.
I think I only sold 35 kits.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I do it. You know, I do this because it's kind of an activity, but it gives people, you know, a chance to actually see stuff built and ask questions and learn. I mean, if you watch all of them, you're gonna learn something.
Eventually,
we hope.
eventually it sinks in.
And I just like doing billathons, and I can't go all over the country and do it, so we do it here.
Yeah.
And everybody else can't go around. I mean, and I'm going to do the billathon at Dayton this year again. There's the one chip TTL contest again this year.
Oh, same one. Yeah.
The last year, the guy who won it put out 1.8 watts out of his chip.
Yeah.
And we had, I think, about 25 builders in the build-a-thon, and we came in with second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. And my kit was putting out a watt. I thought a watt was going to kill it, but
Yeah.
you know, it didn't. So I'm doing it again this year. I'm going to change the design. I'm going to be right up there, you know, competing against that 2 watts.
So you could always buy a kit, even if you don't go to 4 days in May, and you could build it and see what you get out for your
Well,
output.
that's true. I mean, you know, and then if you build it and you find out it's pretty hot, then you might not want to hustle on over there.
Yeah. Get yourself
I mean,
a coveted prize.
A coveted prize is your name engraved on a plate that comes from Dollar General, I think, for about $3.95. My buddy won the first plate several years ago, and but his was the Dave won the first one. Dave Kripe, he won the first one because he was the only entry.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But 2 years ago, a good friend of mine, he got the plate because his was the only chip or the only thing that survived the testing. But we had quite a lot of fun. We did some good builds, and yeah, we had 1 watt coming out of it, and I thought that was gonna do it. So I just posted that item on my webpage up at the top left right there. See, it says FDM Billathon Kit. And then below it is the Billathon Kit mailed to your QTH. But anyway, it's a pretty cool thing. And I don't know if I got any more of these in me right at the moment. I might do something a little bit different. I think I've set forth just about everything I want to do with my tin series. I mean, I was trying to honor the legacy kits, the Tuna Tin 2, the CB slider, the sardine sender, the sardine sender, the hearing aid 5. I mean, those are 4 of the classic QRP kits from the 70s. And so, yeah, we got a Tuna Tin, we got the Spam Can, I didn't want to do the hearing aid 5 because it was just too big. I really like the Cento Recibo kit. I like that can. So we got close to, and this one here takes the place of the sardine sender. The thing I liked about this particular kit was the aesthetics. I mean, it's got a real beautifully painted can with just a small name, Delamaris, on it. So it looks cool. It's tall enough, and it's just a nice kit. And if you go to the store and you buy them, well, yeah, I bought a whole bunch of them. I have hundreds of these cans now because I had to supply the kit because people couldn't find them. And then I found out that our Trader Joe's has 3 different things that they sell in this exact same can that will work, but they're not very pretty because I got Trader Joe logos all over it. I don't seem to have one with me.
Somebody likes Trader Joe's.
Yeah, but I stand in the canned food, canned meat department, and I look at these things, and if I spot something that's interesting, I go for it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, any comments? Anybody?
No, I think we're
okay.
I think we're nearing the end here.
Oh man, that was fun while it lasted, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well.
Hammy, are you still there?
Okay. Well, I guess we're right on time at 9 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll sign off.
Yep.
And I thank everybody for being here. It is kind of a hoot for me to do this, so I hope you got something out of it.
Yep. When you run out of parts, that means you're done.
Yeah, that means you're done. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
See you all.
And
next time.
feel free to email me any of your comments, good or bad. I don't care.
Yep.
All right.
I think you can comment on the live streams even after they're done. So.
Yeah, I don't have a tendency to wander over there very often though. But if you got something significant and
Or
you
email.
make sure I see it, send me an email.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I do read every email.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to be in Orlando Hamcation on February 7th and 8th. 8th and 9th, I guess. Saturday and Sunday. So, Dave, if you're out there, I hope to see you.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Stop in the
All right.